Andre, it's great to have you. And the first thing on my mind as we talk about this is how quickly can you rebuild a city to fit these criteria?
Well, first, thank you for having me on this afternoon. I think your question, let's just be honest, none of us knows where we're going to be on the other side of this pandemic. I think that's, a pretty heavy question to address, but I will say this. I mean, these are issues that we're facing today in our communities. It's nothing new, right? And I think the pandemic, coupled with the murder of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, have really kind of brought these issues to the forefront of how we actually think about our neighborhoods, particularly ones that are challenged, and how do we actually think about investment in a much different way. So I think when we talk about the 20-minute neighborhood concept, it's really kind of expanding this through and looking at this through the lens of equity. And I think your question starts to address that. How do we go about doing it? As urban designers and planners, we have tools, but this really requires a larger collection of thinking from a broader range of professionals and investors as well.
So do you think basically if you're saying, okay, Manhattan, which has tons of these little 15 or 20-minute communities, that there are cities that need to focus on recreating or revitalizing those areas, or do you think the population is going to leave for pre-existing areas that offer that kind of 15 to 20-minute convenience?
Well, I think the issue in terms of, the concerns about population and loss of populations in our cities, really is focused on affordability. And these are issues that were plaguing, a lot of our major cities prior to the pandemic. It's really just brought those issues to the forefront and really exacerbated those issues in a lot of ways. So I don't think it's necessarily about moving to a 15-minute neighborhood or 20-minute neighborhood, but it's really about how we actually talk about those other neighborhoods that are challenged, where we can actually build on the assets that are there and also identify the other assets that are really needed to really make these communities stronger, vibrant, more sustainable.
Yeah.
And it's really about, if we can actually accomplish that, how can we actually create community of choice for all?